Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you guys are new. You have chosen a very weird video to come on board because my confidence is not at its peak today. I just cut my hair this morning and I feel like I'm not looking as good as I usually do, and the narcissist in me is literally dying a bit. So that's the only reason I call this a weird video to come on board, but this is obviously videos I love to film and people love to watch. So today we're gonna let TBR jar prompts choose my August sheets. August is an amazing month because it's also the month when I host Battle of the Bharat Dynasties, my August readathon. And if you haven't joined it yet, what the hell are you doing? It's literally a story-driven reading challenge where you get to strategize with your teams, read books, unlock choices to move forward in the story. So trust me, you're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm so excited to host it because everyone has so much in store for them, and I promise that it's going to be an amazing experience. So let's get right into it before I start rambling again, because this video is just going to become about my haircut if I don't stop now. Also, I feel like every time I pick up my TBR jar again, the prompts just reduce, and I don't know why, because I am not touching it, no one else is touching the TBR jar, but it's irritating me a bit, and I feel like I need to fill it up again, even though some TBR videos back I literally just filled it up to the brim. So what's happening here? I really can't understand. Are the prompts flying off? But that doesn't seem possible because I put something inside the cup to hold the prompts down. So this is just really annoying me. Also, update on my July TBR. It was a cursed and haunted month. I don't know why, but the TBR jar seems to be a bit angry with me because every time I wanted to pick up a book on my July TBR, it literally made me physically nauseous, and I don't know how that can happen because the TBR jar was literally miraculous for me before that. Every book it gave me turned out to be a book that I really enjoyed. So I hope that whatever grudges the TBR jar is holding against me kind of just paves way for a more magical future in August, and it just goes back to its previous self and gives me some amazing reads. What was that sentence? The TBR jar chaos is coming back, and honestly I hope that's a good sign, because if you watch my previous TBR jar videos, you know that I go absolutely crazy during these videos, and I can't even tell you why. Let's just pick this one. It's so thick, and it's handwritten, and it's torn. How irritating. A book that spells book, so books that have the letters B, double O and K in the title. Okay, so I have two options for this prompt. The first one is the book club for troublesome women, which literally has the word book in the title. And the second that does spell out book is Riley Thorn in the Body in the Backyard, which is the last book that I need to complete in the series to complete the series, essentially. So out of those two options, I think I'm going to choose the book club for troublesome women, just because it seems like such an interesting book and I am in the mood for literary fiction, so why not? The crows have literally started to go crazy. I think they're also catching on to the TBR jar fever, if you will. Even though I feel like I'm not as crazy as I usually am during the TBR jar videos. But let's pick out the second prompt. I'm genuinely just annoyed because the prompt seems so less. And I keep my TBR jars just really updated usually. A lot of prompts fell out. Let's go for this one. Read a book that ends on an odd number of pages. I am just going to see the books that I want to read and check if they end on an odd number of pages. The first book that I want to check is The Fellowship of the Ring, just because I am really in the mood to read that. I've literally fallen down so many times in the span of just a few seconds, honestly, and I refer to this book as that way too many times. People are staring at me at this point, and it's just really annoying because how would you feel if I keep monitoring your daily activities, because I'm sure that you do very weird stuff as well. So my neighbors are very annoying, in short, but it's very difficult to tell where Fellowship of the Ring ends. This is a collection of all three books. So I'm just trying to find the contents page. Okay, so it says here that Fellowship of the Ring ends on page 386, and then The Two Towers starts on page 403. So I think Fellowship of the Ring doesn't count, but I can definitely choose that for another prompt. Let's see how many pages Dracula has, because I would like to read this as well. I'm really in the mood to read about some vampires, and what better for that than Dracula, and it has these really cute sprayed edges. 423. Okay, this is a good option. This ends on page 423. Another book I really want to read this month was The Shimla Affair, and it was tightly wrapped in packaging ever since it was delivered to me. But I opened it just to check how many pages it was. It's 300 pages, so I can't even read this, and I kind of ruined it in the process of opening the packaging. So there's not an option. The only option we have so far is Dracula. So I think I'm just gonna go with Dracula at this point, because I do not have the will and the energy to search up more books, and I wouldn't mind reading Dracula, so why not? It seems to be hanging on the edge, so why not? Reese's Book Club pick. This is so exciting. They read the absolute best books. So there are so many books on their list I do want to read. Reese's Book Club just genuinely has the best books, because I want to read every single one of them. What do you mean? I was reading the summaries of some of these books, and I was like, I really just want to read all of them. So my TBR is increasing through the medium of this video. I still haven't decided what I'm going to put on my TBR. Okay, so my three top options for this were either A Pair of Faces, The Fine Art of Lying, or Into the Blue, because these are the ones that are attracting me the most right now. Okay, so after a bit of brainstorming, I've decided to go with A Pair of Faces. It seems like a courtroom drama with a lawyer and a crime syndicate, and the lawyer the bringing down the crime syndicate through prostitution. I think that's what this is, but whatever it is, it just seems really, really interesting, and I can't wait to read it. I'm so glad I discovered these books through Reese's Book Club. They are genuinely just the best. Top 5 books with the highest number of ratings. Okay, so what this essentially means is that I'm going to go to Goodreads, I'm going to choose books. I'm just going to show you. It's way too complicated to explain. Okay, so there is not even an accurate representation of my TBR, because I can't remember the last time I updated my Goodreads want to read, which I really should do, because that would have been really helpful. But basically, these are the top 5 number of rated. What did I just say? Basically, these have the highest number of ratings on Goodreads. So it's not the average rating; it's just how many times over they've been rated. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I can't explain it to you. A lot of people have rated it. So I just updated the Goodreads list. I added Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, because that is a book that I really want to read this month. I added that here, and it has bumped The Nightingale out of the race to take third position. Am I saying words at this point? I think I've been recording for way too long. Is this the fourth prompt? How are we already on the fourth prompt? But I could either choose The Hunger Games, Twilight, Harry Potter and the Deadly Hallows, Book Thief, or Iron Flame. And I think out of all these options, I would genuinely just prefer to read Harry Potter and the Deadly Hallows, because it's a comfort book for me, and I need comfort this month. So yeah. So through a bit of cheating and rigging, Harry Potter and the Deadly Hallows is the fourth book on my August TBR, and I hope that it gives me the comfort that I'm hoping it gives me. And sometimes you just have to rig things in your favor. I hope the TBR jar works. It's magic again, because I'm just really annoyed about July not at the TBR jar. It's very precious to me. I'm sitting in a position where I can't look if any of the prompts fell down. So we're just gonna let that be for now. No people on the cover. So a book which has no people on the cover. I'm sure I have a lot of options for this. Okay, so there are two main books that I'm really gravitating towards for this prompt. The first one is The Someday Garden, which I'm a bit hesitant about, even though I'm really attracted towards it, because I have not loved The 7 Year Slip by the author, but everyone just seems so excited about the book that I do want to read it. I want to get on the hype train. And the second book is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because I think it's going to diversify my TBR, add a new genre to it. So after much brainstorming and contemplation, I've decided to go with The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Whether I read only the first book or the entire series, I'm not sure, because I'm sure the books are just really short. So I think I'm just gonna add the whole book to my TBR, unless it's really thick. In that case, it's just the first book. Obviously, I'm a bit confused, but it's fine. This is our last pick. Okay, I'm genuinely sad about that. This one fell out, so I'm gonna pick this one. But how are we already on the 6th prompt? That is such a coincidence, because this one says people on the cover. So I'm a bit confused about this one, because I meant for it to imply that even a single person will do, but it does says people as in multiple on the cover, for which I do have the option of heated rivalry. You know what? I thought this book only had one person on the cover, but it has people on the cover. These two are hidden in darkness. So I think I'm gonna pick a Shimla. I think I'm gonna pick a Shimla. What the hell am I saying? So I think I'm gonna pick a Shimla Affair, because I really just want to read it this month. I am so attracted to it right now. So I guess that brings us to the end of the TBR video. I was genuinely not as indecisive as I thought I was going to be, and I really just hope and pray that I've broken the curse, and August is a good month for me, and reading these books do not make me nauseous, because I want to read every single one of them so desperately. So let's go over them once again. For a book that ends on an odd number of pages, I picked Dracula. For a book with people on the cover, I chose A Shimla Affair. For a book with no people on the cover, I chose A Shimla. What the hell? Why do I add an N to the end of Shimla? For a book with for a book with people on the cover, yeah, I picked A Shimla Affair. For a book that spells book, I chose Book Club for Troublesome Women. For Reese's Book Club pick, I picked A Pair of Aces, and I'm genuinely so glad, because I'm so excited to read that one, and I'm genuinely just so impressed by the selection. For a book with high number of ratings on Goodreads, I chose Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and I did rig the Goodreads in my favor again, and I added another book, which was Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, that also bumped out Iron Flame out of the top spot and took position in the 4th spot, which only shows you how unupdated my Goodreads list is. And I think I should remove these props, because they just annoy and vex me, because it's not an accurate representation of my TBR. I'm a Virgo, if you can't tell. A book with no people on the cover, for which I chose Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I might regret, because the other books on this list I'm really excited to read. That one is not my priority, but we'll see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what is on your August TBR, if you're participating in Battle of the Bharat Mystics. If you're not, please join in. You're gonna enjoy. Trust me. I don't know why you haven't yet. It's just the best. My iPhone storage just suddenly full, so I just cleared that. But stick around if you want to see me read these books. I'm sure they're going to be very fun, and I promise to read these books this month and just break the curse on my TBR jar. And I hope the TBR jar forgives me for whatever grudges it holds against me, because July was really just abysmal. But let me stop harking on about that and let you take your leave. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It literally means the world to me, and I'll see you hopefully in the next one. Bye bye.